Chris, we see the coach explaining here, but was it disrespectful to Phoenix?
No, it's not disrespectful. We saw in the Super Bowl, Nick Foles came over and suggested a play to the coach. The coaches and the players are tied in together as far as what they're going to run. One thing about Golden State that people don't give them credit for is how the organization is run. The players have a tremendous amount of influence. They listen to music. A lot of NBA teams don't do that. They do things very, very different, how they travel. Now, Steve Kerr, this didn't happen last night. He had been talking the last couple games about they weren't hearing his voice. They were in kind of a rut. So you have to go beyond last night's game to be able to look at the Warriors and what they were trying to do. He told them he thought the players weren't listening to him. So he said, I thought you guys should talk to each other. It's your team. He said, it's not the general manager's team. He said, it's not the owner's team. He said, I'm not going to tell him that. But so it was a whole list of things that he was going through to try to get his team's attention. It's like I was in a Little League game, and one of the coaches came over, and he was upset with me because he said I ran up the score. I told him I was upset with him. He said, why are you upset with me? I said, you ain't teach the damn kids how to tackle. Because you got a certain amount of responsibility. Jared Dudley, he's sitting there at the game. What the heck is he? You got blown out by 40 points.
And
it's the third time.
He conceded that. Jared Dudley at the end of the quote said, maybe it's on us because we've lost 11 of 12, keep getting blown out. And so Jared Dudley said it was disrespectful, but also said
you need to be concerned about your own team. And if he had read any of the Warriors' notes, all right, which you typically read before the team comes there, you would have known that Steve Kerr was looking to get another voice to talk to his team because I think they had lost 3 out of the last 4 or something like that, right?
Correct. So here's the thing. Was it disrespectful? Yeah, but I got no problem with it. Steve Kerr's job
How
is
is he
not
disrespectful?
Because he would never have done this to Pop. He would never have done this if they were playing the Rockets. Part of the math on choosing this game is we are playing the Suns. Like, we probably don't need a coach. And by the way, they won, 129
Steve Kerr was the
83?
general manager of the Suns. I don't believe he has some type of beef with them.
No, I don't think he has. It's not about a beef with the organization. It's about them being one of the 3 worst teams in the NBA.
But to your point of respect, though, Nick, not to cut you off, but you're right. It was disrespectful, but should respect be earned?
No.
And has Phoenix earned said respect?
No, so this is my point. Steve Kerr's job is not to respect the Suns. Steve Kerr's job is not to worry about the feelings of the Phoenix Suns. Steve Kerr's job is to win a championship with Golden State. And what he has seen and what the world has seen over the last few weeks is something that is a real thing in the NBA, the disease of more and the lethargy that comes with 3 consecutive NBA finals was afflicting this team. They needed a new voice. This was the right move for them. And I think with Draymond in particular, Draymond, who, by the way, leads the NBA in techs, has had a more emotional year even by his own standards, having Draymond experience what Kerr goes through might make Draymond more receptive to some of the things Kerr tries to talk to him about. If I'm a Warriors fan, I love this. I got no problem with what he did. But, of course, part of the math on it was the Suns stink. Like, we can try new things. We can be a little more forward-thinking or risky when we're playing Phoenix.
I don't know why Jared Dudley is worried about what the Warriors are doing. The Suns have been a disaster from the beginning of the season. Their best player sent the message, I don't want to be here, right?
Sure did.
That was Bledsoe. Their coach, Earl Watson, he was fired early in the season. So they got other things they need to be worried about. Is he playing?
Jared Dudley?
Yeah.
No, not really.
He's not. What is he doing?
I mean, Jared Dudley is there to be a veteran leader. He is signed because he's a good locker room guy, and he's there, by the way, I think, to give quotes like this, to speak up for his guys.
Don't nobody want to hear from him?
Okay, well, maybe the guys in the locker room do. I mean, Jared.
Well, is it working?
Look at the numbers.
Again,
I mean, just let me know when Jared Dudley, let me know when he became the leader of leaders in the NBA.
Well,
now he's some quote machine.
Hold on. There's a reason that a guy such as Jared Dudley, who is no longer has the skill set of an NBA rotation player, makes $8 million a year. It's so he can be signed to young teams to add some leadership in the locker room. We know there are roles for that.
Because I know they're not paying him $8 million for that 2.9 points he get in the game.
No. That's my point. But they knew
because
that
that's
going
disrespectful.
in. Right, they knew that going in. But on the Warriors side of this, because the Warriors are more, nobody cares about the Suns. The Warriors are the more interesting part of this, to me at least. I understand what Kerr's doing. I think it's smart. I think it's one of the reasons Kerr, when we talked about yesterday, does he get enough credit or too much credit? Kerr Kerr just said the other day, listen, I have all this talent on my team. A lot of guys could win with my team. Sure. He saw Luke Walton go 37-4 with his team. He removes his own ego from the equation and maybe gives the Kerr haters, if they exist out there, more ammo. Say, look, Draymond and Iggy can coach the team. He's just doing what he thinks is best for his team. But sometimes what's best for your team can be disrespectful of your opponent.
If you can't play and it's professional. All right, this is not intramurals. This is not some little league. This is not some participation. Dudes are paying millions of dollars to put the ball in the hole and be able to stop guys from putting it in the hole. That's disrespectful when they put a team out there like the Suns. Now, that's disrespectful.
They're young. It's a young team. Like, the league's got to have a bad team.
It's still the NBA.
You shouldn't be a part of the quotes. You can get knocked off the court by 40, but I don't want to hear any quotes from you, okay? Because what you're doing is disrespectful. Okay. 3 times this year you lost by 40.
Yeah,
okay?
They're a terrible team.
Okay,
no one's doubting that they're a
let's end on
team.
that one.
Okay.
Let's end on that.
We're going to leave it there.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.